Leave it to Avdulla to weave the right passage here, but just all things 10 out of 10 as far as the way he's presented in the yard here today and the way he's gone onto the track. Danger.
Still second favourite at that stage, but now into $3 in favourite. Way to go if you like.
Ready now for the listed feature over 1,200 metres. And they're off and racing. Let's Make It Rain jump well from the wide draw. And a pretty handy Makybe Bossy. The roughies going up to join it. Zootenant was quickly away going to third from Voiler. Sebring Sun settles midfield. Two further back to Vambra being quietly ridden to Tushan. Regis will settle back last. It's the roughie Makybe Bossy making the running from Let's Make It Rain. Zootenant drops in third. Voiler fourth. One out, one back. They're followed then by Vambra, three back the inside, a touch keen, a half the outside to Sebring Sun, to Tusha's hugging the rails, and a half last of all is Regis. Racing up to the home turn, Makybe Bossy just leads from Let's Make It Rain. Zootenant Voiler just easing out of its position with cover. Vambra can come off the fence now. Sebring Sun gets cover around the turn. Into the straight and the rosebud, and Makybe Bossy leads from Let's Make It Rain. Moving up now is Voiler. Zootenant boxed up. Sebring Sun being confidently ridden, and Geesa's coming down the outside. Let's Make It Rain races to the lead. Voiler under pressure, and now Sebring Sun. Avdulla says, go on Sebring Sun, and it races up to hit the lead and starts to wedge away in the rosebud. Sebring Sun from Voiler and Let's Make It Rain. Regis run home into fourth, followed then by Tatouche. Then Vambra from Zootenant, and Makybe Bossy after leading finished back at the tail of the field.
Well, he looked the goods in the yard, and he had, of course, the race day fitness and also the weight drop. Sebring Sun, too good for them in the Rosebud for 2015. Brenton Avdulla knew exactly what he had underneath him. He was absolutely cruising around the turn for Gary Portelli, and he is quite a smart three-year-old. He's beaten home into second placing. Number two, Voiler, you can see build that early. Voiler, you can see build that early promise that he's shown all the way through. So, just like I say, it just wasn't just a win. I think it's a win of a horse that's going somewhere. The numbers there, 4, 2, 3 and 1, and Sebring Sun as a and 1, and Sebring Sun as a and with Temple of Boom, the now 9-year-old, who's got that wonderful record, as I said, winning $1.9 million so far in his career. And a little nugget he is. He's not very big, but he's got plenty of speed about him. Your late mail, Duff.
Late mail in the Missile Stakes, 3, 9, 1 and 2. Like the horse on the screen there, Temple of Boom. As I said, I think he's been set up beautifully by Tony Gollan.
Yeah, well, Caroline, this is race 6 on the program, and 4 of the 6 favourites at this stage of betting were not favourites this morning so far today. And, well, this is another...
Of speed in this year's edition, Duff.
Yeah, well, Zaratone's well, as we call the bunny. He's got 1,000 metre speed, and he finds a 1,200 metre race today where he should... Drawn towards the inside, and they're off and racing, and Temple of Boom got out okay. Old Zaratone's going to cut out the early lead with Messine bouncing out well to second from Temple of Boom. Lordly Offrey fourth in the early part, followed then by Liberty's Choice a half length away, then See the World Weary, and Burbro will settle back last. It's Zaratone in front from Messine, who punches the breeze in second. Temple of Boom right on their hammer in third, followed by Liberty's Choice, Lordly Offrey the outside. Two further back to See the World, the well-supported Weary, and Burbro's last of all as they race to the turn, and Zaratone makes the running by 3/4 to Messina. Temple of Boom stalking in third from Lordly Offric, and further back to Liberty's Choice as they round the corner now, and Zaratone in front from Messina. Temple of Boom comes away from the rails, moves up 3 deep, going with him Lordly Offric, Weary into the clear, inside the 250, Zaratone in front, flat to the boards from Messina, and Temple of Boom clear from Lordly Offric. Weary gives them a big start, making ground. Temple of Boom, Lordly Offric digging in. Burbro's charging home. Burbro through the centre. Burbro's got up to win it from Weary down the outside, and Temple of Boom. Then Mazine from Zaratone. See the World. Lordly Offric dropped off, and Liberty's Choice.
Well, there we see Burbro coming with the last run at them for Rory Hutchings and Bjorn Bake to place. But we see Weary and the eventual winner, Burbro, down the outside to take out the McGrath Missile Stakes. And what a fantastic finishing Bentham, and Bjorn Baker will be thrilled with that result, Brent.
He's here with some very happy connections, and well, there's a powerhouse performance. Did that catch you by surprise?
Graham here. This is the Smithfield RSL Club San Domenico Stakes for the 3-year-olds. And Vancouver, well, he looks fantastic. He's so relaxed. He's unbeaten, as we know, 4 from 4, and a Golden Slipper winner against some of these real up-and-comers.
Yeah, look, he's 10 into 550 now. Wow, he's a big go and a good betting race.
4 from 4. He's done everything right. He was pushed out in that trial. Was against, of course,
$50 to $6 as Japanese firms 460 into 440. There is money for Vancouver here on course. Got to as much as $2.70, back into $2.50. Still
He's the clear favourite. Gates open, they're off. Salerno missed the start. Red Zell taken back. Vancouver jumped about third. Whiteout Headwater, best out from Haptic. King's Troop, and Vancouver is surging forward, looking to get a spot in. Japanisma being restrained back to fifth, followed by Red Zell, then Alert, and Salerno's the last one. Headwater presses on from the outside, puts its head in front from Haptic and Vancouver. Berry's got it into third with cover. On the outside of King's Troop, Japanisma next. A touch keen, 3/4 the inside to Red Zell. And the two roughies, Alard and Salerno, back last. Haptic leads to the turn. It's kicking up on the inside of Headwater. King's Troop third from Vancouver. Japanisma now Red Cell. The race is on in earnest at the 350. Haptic's kicking from Headwater. King's Troop the inside. Vancouver and Japanisma's winding up down the outside. Haptic the leader from King's Troop, and Japanisma strides up. Great race. Japanisma wide out. Hits the lead from King's Troop. They're beaten off Haptic. Japanisma forging to a narrow lead. Japanisma takes out the San Domenico. It beat King's Troop and Haptic. Vancouver fourth. Then Alert from Red Zell. Headwater dropped off and Salerno was last in. Oh, he's flying. Ty England becomes the fourth jockey to win on this.
In the Ingham Cerise for Ty England, and he's beaten home in second placing number 7 King's Troop, who also, of course, they fought out the finish a few weeks back as well with the same placings there. And then we get to number 3 Haptic in third placing, but the winner of the San Domenico is Japanisme for Chris Waller and Ty England. Upstaging, well, the favourite.
He's done an amazing job, this horse, this preparation, winning 4 in a row, and look, all honours with him. He looked a good thing in the run, Vancouver, when Tommy Berry was assertive and found himself in the 1-1, but I think he deserves another chance, ridden out of his comfort zone to a certain extent. But
I really think he's a good sprinter. 1400 metres to me is not really a genuine sprint. It's getting a bit more like a mile for a 3-year-old this early in the season. So, as I said, it's hard to bypass. The Ingham's a sporting family. They won't be worried if he gets beat. They'd prefer to have a go. That's their nature. So I guess they'll be telling me what to do. A race like
you from a $7 price, but on track. $6 at open, it's in a 4 point to $5.
Okay, significant, isn't it? Damien Oliver, also a significant booking. He will spot start. He's not a nippy horse, but
on the tote. So it's been a good move for him in the Godolphin Blue. They're all in. They're ready for the vein now. They're off and Demonstrate began just a touch awkwardly. Stoker got away well. Ragazzo del Corsa away very fast. He's out looking for the lead with the shades on and ran by a couple of lengths to Top Me Up, and getting up on the rail, Equinover into third. Followed Brackenby fourth, and then Gold Symphony. A length further back as Stoker pulling hard out wide on the course, and Demonstrate between runners. Followed by Star Planet. They're not going quickly here. Back behind them then is Assertive Star, and Regatta's last. It's at the 600 metres. Ragazzo del Corsa dictating the terms. Stoker's had to go up very wide on the course and join them with Top Me Up in the centre, and also Gold Symphony. Equinover right behind the leading quartet, and so is Demonstrate travelling into it, followed by Brackenby searching for a run, and Star Planet out deep. They corner now Ragazzo del Corsa with Gold Symphony and Stoker joining in. The grey Top Me Up fighting back. No run at all for Demonstrate right behind them, and wider was Star Planet. Brackenby behind the wall. Coming to the 200 metres now. Gold Symphony and Top Me Up come down. It's Gold Symphony with the head in front, and Gold Symphony wins it from Top Me Up. Great photo for third. Demonstrate, Star Planet and Stoker all in a line there ahead of Ragazzo del Corsa, who weakened, and then Brackenby. Next in was Assertive Star. Well back as Equinover in company with Royalic in a sprint home from the turn.
So Gold Symphony gets it at $6.52, defeats Top Me Up, photo for third. Stoker was huge, caught 5 deep, 4 deep the whole way. And another great race. This is the Quisette, the Group 3. And at this stage, Petitus Falus. I think that's how I pronounce it, or you might be able to pronounce it better, Tony. All I can tell you is it can gallop. Gallop very good.
It sure can. Number 5 is the way I say it, Dave. This one looked pretty good there last time out. She's unbeaten. She just has an X factor about her, and she looks ready for it.
Jarlin standing up well.
Yeah, sorry, Nick, it was the doctor.
They're ready, they're racing. Petite Falou, one of the first to bounce out. Miss Gunpowder got away flying. She's looking for the lead in the early part, but now driving up as Petite Falou to head her. There followed Misty Waters getting up on the rail into third, and the baldy-faced Julietta is prominent. Being followed, Tape Pride pressing on out extremely wide on the course. Just in behind them, Jarlin being followed as they came down the side to our Vidia, and then came Grisby's Run. Pearl Star getting up on the inside, followed down Doubt Marley, and well back in the field is Thurlow out deep and second last, and last to the turn is Madonna Lily, swinging around the bend now, and it's the favourite on top. It's Petite Falou for Damien Oliver, leading from Take Pride. Right behind them, Misty Waters, followed then by Miss Gunpowder, peeling to the outside when they flatten in the straight now and down towards the 200 metre mark, and Petite Falou's doing it well. Take Pride's under the whip. Miss Gunpowder is starting to launch her run down the outside. Petite Falou has to dig in. Miss Gunpowder with 100 to go, trying her heart out on the outside, but Petite Falou is too good. She's very smart. Petite Falou won it by a length and a quarter. A photo for second. Jarlin stormed home, and Miss Gunpowder. Then came Don't Doubt Marley running on down the outside to fourth, followed by the weakening Take Pride, Misty Waters, Pearl Star, Julietta. Then came Madonna Lily, our Vidia, followed by Grisby's Run, and Thurlow last in.
So Petite Falou does it in style, $1.90, 120. Photo for second and third. We might have seen 1,000 guineas horse too there in Jarlin. Let's just bring you quickly this replay before Kembla. This
Rolling to win last year. Now Dibiani, another attempt being made with him. He's got the lead rope out there, and we still await Taiyu to move in, and also Petrology. Formerly the Liston Stakes, renamed to the Peter Lawrence a few years ago to recognise Peter Lawrence's 1400, Group 2 weight for age. Away. Caught them pretty well with Big Knowledge, the first one to break out and go towards the tail end of the field, and the Cleaner is the first to show ahead of Mourinho, and Excess Knowledge got away beautifully. He's up there third with Dibiani, a little wider out fourth, a length and a half Smoke and Joey, No Tricks Taiyu, and they're followed by Petrology and Big Memory a length away. 9 covered them, 1,000 to go, and the Cleaner is the leader, a length and a half clear. Excess Knowledge is second, a length and a half Mourinho, a half Dibiani, 2 or 3 further back as Smoke and Joey, followed by No Tricks Taiyu out 3 wide, 1 away Petrology, and a length further back is the Big Memory. Coming down the side, the Cleaner a length and a half, Excess Knowledge is second, Mourinho tucked in third, 1 away to Dibiani, Smoke and Joey edging a little closer as they went by the 6. They're followed No Tricks Taiyu, Petrology, and Big Memory is last, so the Cleaner the leader, coming up towards the turn of the Lawrence, 3/4 clear to Excess Knowledge. Mourinho ridden along on the inside behind them from Dibiani, and Smoke and Joey wider. They corner now into the straight, still the Cleaner narrowly from Excess Knowledge, just a little bit on the wrong leg. Mourinho trying to barge out, wider was Dibiani, Smoke and Joey, and Petrology is coming right over on the outside. The Cleaner in front with 150 to go from Mourinho, and on the outside Dibiani. It's the Cleaner and Mourinho and the Cleaner, they come to the line. A photo. Oh, Mourinho or the Cleaner, that's very, very close. 2 lengths away, either Dibiani or Big Memory for third. Then No Tricks, Excess Knowledge weakened out. So did Taiyu towards the end in company with Smoke and Joey, and last in is Petrology.
Well, either Mourinho or the Cleaner, we'll soon find out. Very, very close here. They're not too far away from Kembla. We'll flash those numbers up for you. And the 3, Mourinho gets it, hearing from Greg Miles. The 3 gets it. So number 3, the winner, beats the Cleaner. Here is Kembla Grange, race 7.
With Mermaid Run, I just thought its last start victory was okay, so it's back in winning form. And a nice little 3
today, and won't be far off Sebring Sun, judging by his last start performance. I'm sort of 1-3, best value 7 and 2, and they're not the only chances. Land's End looked great, 25 to 1. He looked fantastic in the yard. Kenny Essen, how good is he? We don't know.
Move up for the Group 3 up-and-coming stakes over the 1,300 metres, and we're set for a start now. Ready for a break. Sebring Sun, the favourite for the up-and-coming, and he missed the start a bit, Sebring Sun. It will settle last, and Inner Circle was first out, but Voilier's being hard-ridden to try and go through and match it. Settling back in third, Shards will take the sit, then Tatouche from Man of Choice, Land's End. Canny Essence and the hot favourite Sebring Sun is last, and about 10 lengths off the lead, but the pace is fairly genuine. It's Inner Circle up on the outside of Voilier, who's given up pushing forward, and Inner Circle can take up a clear lead now. Shards is back to third, a length and a half to Man of Choice, then Tatouche. Back in the field, Land's End is firing up from Canny Essence, and Sebring Sun is the last one. Racing to the turn, and Inner Circle ensuring the pace is very genuine. It's 3 lengths clear from Voilier, 2 off to Shards, travelling well. Then Man of Choice from Tatouche, Land's End, Canny Essence, and Sebring Sun is the last one. Around the corner, an Inner Circle with a good lead from Voilier in second, then Shards, Tatouche. Now Sebring Sun gets to the outside and further back to Canny Essence, going between horses. Inner Circle the leader, but Voilier has got it in his sights, and Voilier's laying it down now to Inner Circle. Shards closes off, and Sebring Sun's coming hard on the outside. Voilier in front. Shards goes up to challenge. Shards hits the lead from Voilier, and Shards gets the money. Shards ran down Voilier. Good go for third, Sebring Sun, Tatouche and Canny Essence late, followed by Land's End, Man of Choice and Inner Circle. Weekend to finish back last.
Godolphin Strike, first of all here today with number 3 Shards. Fourth home, number 6 Tatouche, and fifth home, number 8 Canny Essence. Just waiting on the times.
Her back speak fondly. I think she's paraded very, very well. Resumes with blinkers on here today. Look, a few people are worried about one of her trials, but I just think she looks outstanding in the yard. Dangers 3, Lake Geneva. I like what I see. No problems there. She looks to have come on well from Hawkesbury and still has more scope for improvement. 4, Kimberly Star. Wow, she's up and running and well. And although she's back to a dry track,
Lake Geneva and Kimberly Star. There is now a fair gap between them. Lake Geneva at $2.80 fixed odds at tab.com.au. Kimberly Star at $3.50. On track, Lake Geneva's just been $2.70 out to $2.90.
6, I like Speak Fondly here. I think she's looks well. Gay resumes.
$5. Let's get up to Darren Flindell now for the Silver Shadow.
Yes, Greg, there might only be 6 in it, but a very exciting race saloon. Speak Fondly a little restless on the inside. They're off now in the Group 2 for the fillies. Italy goes back to last. Lake Geneva and Kangaroo Joy jump well. Kimberly Star's drifting back, and Speak Fondly's mustering on the rails now. Then Fireworks, Kimberly Star taken back to second last, and Italy's at the rear. Kangaroo Joy a bit keen on the outside of Speak Fondly, and with the blinkers on first time, Speak Fondly takes the lead now from Kangaroo Joy. Christian Reith just taking a tug there to drop back into a clear second. Lake Geneva gets some cover on the outside of Fireworks. Then Kimberly Star and Italy, 600 metres to run. And Speak Fondly with the 3 kilo penalty here leads by 3/4 to Kangaroo Joy, who switches off well. Then Fireworks first run back today on the inside of Lake Geneva. Italy and Kimberly Star, who's shooting for 4 straight. She'll have to do it from last into the straight. Speak Fondly leads from Kangaroo Joy. Fireworks being pushed along from Lake Geneva and Kimberly Star. She's starting to rev up on the outside. Speak Fondly's asked to lengthen. She's giving away 3 kilos to Kimberly Star, who's trying hard, but Speak Fondly slips into another gear. She's going great guns in the Silver Shadow, and Speak Fondly goes on to win it by a length and a half to Kimberly Star. Lake Geneva third, then Italy Fireworks, and Kangaroo Joy was outclassed.
Well, a quinella for Gay Waterhouse, first and second across the line. And well done to Ronnie Duffy. He wasn't going to waver. He stayed with Speak Fondly all the way through, and it gets the money. A good, dominant display there.
Yeah, she is a little slow into stride, probably with those blinkers on for the first time and on a back, just on the back step as they jump, but they can...
Yeah, number 8, It's Somewhat, John O'Shea, James McDonald.
Yeah, he looks well. He's done a bit of work. He hasn't been asked in both trials. He was outstanding, winning the Liverpool City Cup first up last preparation, and then they run him second up in the George Ryder on a hard track.
Kermadec for Chris Waller, and Bossy reunites with the horse. He's in Sydney today to partner Kermadec in the Warwick Stakes.
I thought he looked way above himself at the gallop last week at Rose Hill, but I like the way he's done the last week. He's looking against the other horses.
Descent. She hasn't won for a long time, but look at her list of placings in high-quality races against the best opposition in the country.
terrific mare. She's running all the great races. She looks well. I like the fact that Chris let her win a trial recently. I like the fact that they're going to let her race close here.
Shea lines up a couple of runners here in the Warwick Stakes. Certainly complacent as...
And 12. I'm with Pornichet. I reckon he looks great. Hopefully Blake can give him a little bit of cover or get himself into the first half of the field here.
Horses, what's happening with the market with tab.com.au?
Well, Greg Kermadec is the favourite here, and Ronnie, he said...
Spur set, red light on, ready now for the Warwick Stakes over the 1,400 metres. Set for a start. Field of 13. Kermadec the favourite. Racing now in the Warwick Stakes, and the favourite Kermadec taken back to last, and Zaratone won the start. It's somewhat away well. Royal Descent pretty handy. Pornichet goes forward, and Messina's driving right through along the rails. Beaten up camps behind them. Burbro a little bit handier. Now Kermadec on the improve is going through along the rails into this first turn with Foreteller on his outside, and further back to Complacent, 2 off to Gust of Wind, Hawkspur, and Moriarty's been taken back to last. Zaratone makes the running, and Pornichet strides up into second. Messina with a box seat third on the inside of Royal Descent. Beaten up 3 back the fence, followed by It Somewhat. Kermadec is midfield on the inside of Burbro. Further back then to Foreteller on the inside of Complacent, Gust of Wind, Hawkspur, and last of all is Moriarty. Racing to the home turn, and Zaratone just in front from Pornichet. Back in the field, Burbro's broken down. Complacent hampered. Zaratone in front from Pornichet. Messina now Royal Descent is going after the leaders. Beaten up, working into the clear. It Somewhat is plodding on, and now Kermadec pulling to the outside as big Pornichet hits the lead. Royal Descent goes after it. Pornichet and Royal Descent, have they got it between them? Royal Descent hits the lead now and draws away in the Warwick Stakes. Royal Descent from Pornichet. Messina grabbed third in front of Beaten Up and Kermadec. Then Zaratone just behind them. Foreteller from It Somewhat, Gust of Wind, Hawkspur, Complacent hampered on the turn, and unfortunately Burbro's been retired from the race.
Yeah, shocking news about Burbro, who's on the home turn. Well, her number will go into the winner's frame. Finally, after such a long time out of the winners list, Royal Descent wins a Warwick Stakes. And it was going to be a lot closer. It looked like it was going to be, a nose between them when they got to the line, and Royal Descent has drawn away.
Yeah, you can't take that one away from her. It's been a long, long time that she's been out of the winner's circle. Set up beautifully with a lovely ride from Bowman. Look, she had the barrier, and she had the makeup of the race to put her into a position like that. And who knows, that could springboard her into a Caulfield Cup or a Myer Classic. And now that she's found the winning way again, he pours plenty in, Jerry, and he deserves it because he loves this mare. I read a story about her yesterday, so... look, she's the bride today, there's no doubt about it. Pornichet was gallant. He's a hard horse to chase, Zaratone, and he's first up. And, look, don't hold that run against him. Beaten Up's run a cracking race for a stayer. And Kermadec gets a pass mark. Whatever he does there, he'll improve on. Look, Messina's run an improved race. And, look, the Greys run a great race as well. But too good, the winner. It's her day in the sun.
It sure is, and she deserves it. If ever... Well, all right, we'll go and enjoy it. I'm sure Jerry and Katie will enjoy it too.
Yeah, they will. Great supporters of ours, and we really appreciate their support.
Well done.
Thanks.
Royal Descent coming back to scale.
It's 2-1-9 to pull the curtain down on Kembla Grange. Yeah, thanks to Joshua's help across the 8 races there this afternoon. Race 7 at Morfordville. This is the listed Penny Edition Stakes, and number 7 Alpine Eagle on a Cox Plate Trail is the favourite. First up here at 180 fixed and 190 on the tote.
Good Fun Girl was a little slow at the start. Alpine Eagle was going to drift out the back. He's going to be second last on settling down. Justify That wants the front. Takes it up in the early stages from Riz's second. Go Dreaming with Eclipse from Go Indigo. Alpine Eagle the favourite, second last, about 7 off the lead. Last of all, Good Fun Girl. They run towards the 700 metre mark. It's Justify That leading from Riz's, getting closer on the outside. Go Dreaming third. Stimulate fourth. Then Dylan Sun. Next Red Eclipse back on the inside. He's He's in a bit of traffic at the moment here, Nelson, at the moment on this hot favourite Alpine Eagle. He's got Go Indigo outside of him. He's about to try and move that mare out of the way. Good Fun Girl last. They turn for home. He's got a bit of work to do, this favourite. Justify That led Riz is. Then Go Dreaming, Dylan's Son. Alpine Eagle hook right to the outside from Stimulate. Riz is had the lead at the 200 metre mark. Riz is in front. Alpine Eagle starting to get going when it's all over, but Riz has got a big break here over Dylan's Son and Alpine Eagle and Go Dreaming, and Riz is going to win. Riz is first, Alpine Eagle second. It was still a good effort. Go Dreaming third, Dylan's Son fourth, then Justify That. Next was Red Eclipse, then Stimulate, Go Indigo and Good Fun Girl.
Reserves for Jamie Carr, home at 5.10 and 160 to win the listed feature at Morfordville. Best work late from Alpine Eagle. It runs second at $1.30.
Deserves a bit well fresh here. And Exosphere, well, he probably deserves a bigger place up than fourth position here because he's a big brute of an animal. Just whether the makeup of this race is going to suit him with a little bit of a query up front. 6, 3, 1 and 2. Stick to your own opinion here because it's a tough one.
Glenn Munsey, you were 2.10 about Japanisma this morning.
Yeah, now odds on, Greg, and been odds on for the majority of betting now. Just with these horses resuming, they've been a little bit easy. But Japan has
run now in the Run to the Rose over 1,200 metres. Japanisma off the rails, the even money favourite in the rough, and the favourite Jump Well Japanisma. Holler first out though. Press Statement being snagged back. Red Zell goes forward. Press Statement goes back to fourth. And Exosphere, first up since the Golden Slipper, will settle last. Red Zell's going through on the inside of Holler to take up the running, and Japanisma will park in third. A length further back to Press Statement, and Exosphere is the last one. So Red Zell takes up the lead today. Second up from the break, and Red Zell makes the running by a length and a half to Holler. Japanisma in third from Press Statement, the Group 1 winner in Brisbane during the Carnival, and Exospheres last of all down the side of the course. Red Zell hasn't been pressured in the lead by Holler. Japanisma's just patiently waiting for his turn to sprint. Press Statement fourth the outside. Exosphere last. They straighten up now. Red Zell being nursed from Holler. Japanisma peels out 3 wide, and Press Statement comes up on the outside. Holler races to the lead from Red Zell. Then Press Statement. Japanisma, is he gone? Exosphere down the outside. Press Statement goes after Holler. Exosphere the outside is charging home. Exosphere's come from last and claims the runs to the Roses. Exosphere from Press Statement and Holler. The runs come to an end for Japanisma, and Red Zell made the running but didn't see it out. Sam Clipperton.
Wow, what an animal, Exosphere. This big brute of a horse who walked into this mounting yard like he owned it, Duff, has gone over the top of them. Sam Clipperton's been able to pose for the camera.
Wow, that's a big return from him. He was soft in the market. The punters didn't want a bar of him the last 20 minutes of betting, but he's proved them wrong, and he's proved the trainer right with his confidence in him that he's come back well, and it's obviously had a problem in the slipper. He might just need a little jar out of the track, being such a big, strong horse. Take nothing away from Press Statement. 60 kilos there. He kept fighting the whole way. Maybe Japanisma has come to the end of it, and Holler, considering the circumstances that he'd had a setback coming into this race, he stuck on very, very well. Terrific race. All honours with the winner, but Press Statement loses. No admirers.
If we don't get a big crowd out here at Rose Hill on Golden Rose Day for this big grand final in Sydney, we'll never get a crowd.
Let's hope we do, because there's some terrific 3-year-olds around. We've got Vancouver to meet these horses. Press Statement, what a great return from
poker face off. You'd have to be excited with that.
3 against older horses. I think he's got a big sprinting future ahead of him.
Okay, when do we see him?
Yeah, we'll see him in the Rose in a fortnight. We're really proud of both horses. Holler ran great, and
Bill, the first of the Group 3s over the 1,200 metres, and Prince of Brooklyn is the favourite at 3.20 on the fix. Looking to make it 3 from 3 is the favourite for the McNeil Stakes at Group 3 grade over the 1,200 metres. 3-year-olds in action here. 3.10 fixed and Paramutual now ready for victory. 4.40 and 4.60 across both of those. Mr. Individual at $6 fixed, $8 for Gold Symphony on track.
Brooklyn jumped well, topped me up the grey, beat him out on the outside, and Ragazzo del Corso got away well. Getting up along the inside, handy early is Stream Ahead as they settle down. It's the filly holding on to the lead. Stream Ahead from Top Me Up. Ragazzo del Corsa improving outside of him now. 2 lengths away, Prince of Brooklyn. He settles down fourth. Followed Gold Symphony the inside, and then Stoker, Mr. Individual. Ready for victory. He's got back in the field. He's second last and Demonstrate last. So Stream Ahead has the lead. She's 3/4 Ragazzo del Corsa. Mr. Individual left out 3 wide. He strides up into third placing now. Ahead of Top Me Up. Gold Symphony. Prince of Brooklyn. 1 further back to Stoker, ready for victory, second last and Demonstrate. 5 lengths covered them. Stream Ahead the first into the straight from Ragazzo del Corsa. Mr. Individual looks a bit of a handful for Roddy, hangs badly around the turn. Then Top Me Up running into it, and Prince of Brooklyn back behind them under pressure. Gold Symphony going for a split between the leaders. They come to the 200. Gold Symphony got up on the inside. Top Me Up on the outer, ready for victory, dives through. Demonstrate. Green comes home hard right across the track. Demonstrate racing after Gold Symphony, ready for victory. Gold Symphony, bossy again. Gold Symphony wanted to head to ready for victory. Demonstrate. Top Me Up next from Ragazzo del Corsa, and then Prince of Brooklyn. Back behind those horses then was Mr. Individual, who just lost it at the turn, and maybe even before that actually. Stoker towards the end and weakening Stream Ahead last.
Gold Symphony wins at 8:30 and 2:10 for G Boss. Looks like ready for victory. Nice return from it. Has got up inside it to run second, and Demonstrate wide out. Looks to have run third. Looks like 2, 3 and 5 and 6. Top Me Up prominent for fourth behind Gold Symphony at 8.
The winner.
Also behind them had no luck either was Stoker. 3 does get second, 5 does get third. 2, 3, 5 to the McNeil Stakes at Caulfield race number 3's coming up. A sprint at Caulfield over the 1100 metres, and Rich Enough is the favourite. 290 fixed, 280 tote, 3 out to 320 on track, where it's the joint favourite with Bounding, 340 into $3.20. Under the Louvre, $6.50 into $6, Brass.
Yeah, beautiful little race, isn't it, Matto? I like Under the Louvre. I thought he'll probably have the last crack at them.
Up well, so did Bounding on the outside. And also Miss Promiscuity got away quickly. Thermal Current goes back on the inside, settling into stride now, and Rich Enough driving up along the fence to join Miss Promiscuity. Bounding took the trail a length and a half away. Thermal Current's on the fence. 2 lengths to the bowler, a length further back is Bull Point, and they're followed at the end of the field Under the Louvre, and joining him on the outside, Richie's Vibe. Rich Enough has the lead, 600 left to go, he's a half in front. Second is Miss Promiscuity, Bounding Camp right on their hammer. On the rails, Thermal Current is fourth, and they're followed Richie's Vibe around the bowler, Bull Point, and last Under the Louvre. Around the turn now, Miss Promiscuity levels up with Rich Enough. Bounding comes on 3 wide, she's looming with her run now, and then Thermal Current and Richie's Vibe. Rich Enough at the 200 being tackled by Bounding, 3 out. Miss Promiscuity in the middle. 150 to go. Bounding strikes the front, and Rich Enough didn't have an answer, and Bounding is doing just that, racing 3 lengths clear from them, and Bounding for Karen McAvoy easily over Rich Enough. Photo for third. Miss Promiscuity just from Richie's Vibe, and then Under the Louvre, the bowler, Thermal Current and Bull Point.
Easy win to Bounding, wasn't it? Travelling on the turn after having a beautiful run in transit. $3 and $1.30 for Karen McAvoy. Beats Rich Enough at $1.50. Miss Promiscuity might have run third, a lip in front of Richie's Vibe. Leave it as 7-1 and a photo between the 8 and the 2, though, perhaps in that order for race number 5. Start of the quad. Also on the Group 1 feature of the afternoon at Caulfield, the Memsie Stakes over the 1400 metres. First Group 1 of the season. Having a quick look at what's happening for you on track. 6 out to $6.50, back into $6 for Boban. Temple of Boom, 16 out to 18, back in a point to $17. In money for Entirely Platinum. For Team Hawks, $11 into $9. A nibble Volk Stock and Barrel as well, number 11. $6.50, $7.50, back into $6.50. And Stratum Star, $8.50 into $7. Racing on a soft 6 for the Group 1 feature of the afternoon. The Memsie Stakes over the 1400 metres at Caulfield as they load them up. Boban is the fixed odds favourite, number 3 at $5.50, $5.60 on the tote market. Still $6.50, back into $6 on track. Looking for the big shortness here. Entirely Platinum is 11 into $9.50. That's horse 10. Volk Stock and Barrel, $6.50, $7.50 into 6, back to $6.50. And then money for Stratum Star, number 17, $8.50.
Smoke and Joey, a late scratching. 4.46 on Vet's advice. Betting announcement will follow the running of the Group 1 Memsie. Smoke and Joey is out, and now the field is ready to go. They're off in the Memsie. High Will Jump Well, Magical was slow. Weary missed the start. He's gone back about third last, and one of the first to bounce, Entirely Platinum. Stratum Star's up there with him, followed Temple of Boom on the outside, and Satinum pressing on wide to attack for the front. High Will gets a nice trail just off the leading bunch of horses. He's fifth, a length in front of Petrology. 2 lengths to Boban down on the inside of Rising Romance, and they're followed then by Sartorius. In company with that horse is Volkstock and Barrel in the centre, and Dandino down on the rail. A length to Happy Trails, Magic Cool. Weary is second last, and Prince of Penzance. 700 metres left to go. Entirely Platinum led by a half. Satinum a length and a half away in third spot. Temple of Boom. They're followed by High World, Stratum Star a length away as Boban, Petrology, and then Sartorius deep out around Volkstock and Barrel. Dandino the rail. Weary trying to get into it on the outside, and they're followed by Rising Romance, Happy Trails, Prince of Penzance, and Magic Cool is last. Into the straight they race. Entirely Platinum narrative from Satinum on the outside, and Temple of Boom. Stratum Star running on. High World under pressure. Petrology can't quite get clear. In the straight they race past the 200. Entirely Platinum in front of Satinum. Stratum Star's coming on. Boban has got right up on the inside. Entirely Platinum still the leader from Stratum Star on the outside. He's coming home hard, and Boban getting up on the rail. This will be a terrific three-way finish. Boban last hop. Boban right on the fence for Schofield. Wins from either Entirely Platinum or Stratum Star. Then Weary, High World, followed by Volkstock and Barrel, Rising Romance, Satinum. Prince of Penzance has run out of his skin on the outside. Then Sartorius, Petrology. Back behind those is Happy Trails and Dandino, Magic Cool, Temple of Boom.
So Boban won the Doomben 10,000 first up last preparation, wins the Group 1 Memsey first up this prep. For Glenn Schofield, sneaks up inside them to beat them at $5.30 and $2.20. Entirely Platinum's in there for second alongside Stratum Star. So 3 in a photo between the 10 and the 17, and 8 Weary, which was back in the field but got home nicely for fourth. Boban. He's a very good horse, Mr. Brassel.
He sure is. That was heart-stopping, wasn't it? Entirely Platinum had the race won, and Stratum Star cranked up down the outside, and there's the proven Group 1 who was sneaking up to score. So we'll watch that race with avid interest again a couple of times, I'd say, Marto.
3 and a photo between the 10 and the 17 ahead of the 8 to the Memsey, with one to come this afternoon at Caulfield. Lynn Schofield combining with Chris Waller, as they have done many times.
Great deal of a quandary, and weren't helped by the fact that Rock Star there. But Kimberley Star, the $3.20 favourite. Here, just a little bit easy on track. He's $2.70 out to $3.40, but back into that $3.20. He was $3 this morning, so he's 3 out to $3.20 with Tab today. Canny Essence been a little bit easy. The last little bit was
in Tribute, Ming Dynasty quality. Group 3 for the 3-year-olds, and they're set for a jump. Gates open, the Rough and Racing. Gold Ambition missed the kick off the inside. Intrepid Way taken back, and Metallic Crown won the starter. From Valiru straight up into second. Kimberley Star handy on the outsider. Tap this, and Canny Essen caught 3 wide in the early parter. A length and a half to Tatouche from Gold Ambition. Lands Aces Genuine. Metallic Crown looking to make all. 2.5 from Canny Essen getting a breather as they approach the heavier part of the Randwick course. 2 off to Walia. Then Tap this, the rails a length for the back to Kimberley Star. Just given a bit of a squeeze now as they come to the turn. 2 off to Gold Ambition, Tatouche, Land's End, and Intrepid Way's the last one. Around the corner, a Metallic Crown with plenty of gas in the tank at the moment. 2 lengths clear from Canny Essen. Wiley closing off. Then Kimberley Star is starting to pick up well. Tatouche from further back, and Tap this making ground. Canny Essence laying it down to Metallic Crown. Tap this, the Greys looking for a run. Kimberley Star's grinding away. It's Canny Essen just in front of Kimberley Star. Metallic Crown. Tap this to the rouse, to Touche late. Metallic Crown kicks. It's fending off all the challengers, and Metallic Crown takes out the Ming Dynasty from either Kimberley Star or Tatouche. Then Tap this, Canny Essen stopped the last 50 from Land's End. Intrepid Way late. Then Walia, and Gold Ambition was the last in.
Jimmy Cassidy finds everything with Metallic Crown. He just keeps boxing on when he looked as though...
He was gone at the 100-metre mark. They did go past him, and Canny Essen was brave after over-racing mid-race, but he just fought back too hard, too fit, and another promising one for Chris Waller. I think there's a few horses to watch out of.
Again, the challengers were coming thick and fast. What were you thinking halfway up the straight?
Challenges were coming thick and fast, and that's exactly how it was. There was plenty of dangers there, but gee, the last 50 metres actually came away from them.
Yeah, He certainly...
And second of the group races coming up at Randwick. The Group 2 Furious Stakes, 3-year-old fillies over the 1200 sees number 5 Speak Fondly as the 250 fave.
Arnold. On track, Speak Fondly remains 240. 460 Serene Majesty. 460 as well about Ottoman, who's a little bit... She basically led all the way first up, and we're set for a start. Ready for a break in the Furious Stakes over the 1200 metres. Speak Fondly, the 2.4 favourite, and she jumped well, Speak Fondly in the centre. Capricious Spirit's got away pretty hastily as well with Serene Majesty the outside, and Speak Fondly goes to third. Ottoman fourth on the rails, 2 further back to Perignon Lake Geneva. Then Collaborate from Fireworks and Look to the Stars have dropped back to last. The outsider of the field, Capricious Spirit, makes the running by a length on Serene Majesty. Speak Fondly with cover third. Ottoman's overdoing it in fourth. Racing fiercely, then Perignon the rails from Lake Geneva. Fireworks, Collaborate, and 2 lengths to Look to the Stars is over racing at the rear. It's the Grafton trained filly Capricious Spirit at big odds, leading to the turn from Serene Majesty, who's got the favourite Speak Fondly locked away in a pocket. Ottoman fourth, 1 out 1 back around Perignon. Then Fireworks from Lake Geneva. Collaborate being shaken up as they race inside the 350, and now Speak Fondly pops off the fence, and Speak Fondly races to the lead with Ottoman breathing down her neck, and the favourites are broken clear. Speak Fondly and Ottoman now getting a run, Perignon between them. Lake Geneva running on. Ottoman can't get there. Speak Fondly's kicking strongly and slips away in the Furious Stakes. Perignon to second, but Speak Fondly made that look easy at the finish. Perignon second, Ottoman third. Good margin back to Lake Geneva and Fireworks and a photo for fourth. Then Serene Majesty. A long margin to Collaborate, Look to the Stars, Capricious Spirit last.
Well, I think Darren summed that up. Made it look easy.
Yeah, she just outsprinted them when you thought there was going to be a real contest on there at the top of the straight. I know she had a recent run on her side where the other 2 fillies were first up, but that was a classy performance. She stamped herself as a real threat in all these major fillies races, and you have to like the way she savaged the line, indicating that, look, 1400, no problem. Who knows with the mile, with the Gay Waterhouse training. Perignon proved that she's come back well. She'll come.
She's absolutely outstanding filly. She'll win the Flight Stakes and do exactly the same in another few weeks' time. She's really the real deal.
So sticking with the fillies, she is still in the Golden Rose, isn't she, Gay?
She is, and she might win the Golden Rose. I'll have to speak to the owner here. Go on,
Monica.
Action here, and the informed Shiraz will be strong late here, and Atmospherical back at probably her pet distance, the shorter sprint, so it's an intriguing little contest.
OK, well, the sun's gone behind a cloud and the breeze whips up a bit as they parade. Here's Ball of Muscle back after a very good trial.
Well, he looks a ball of muscle as well, and he looks...
Out to load them up for the Concord Stakes, race 5 to start the quaddie at Randwick. Ball of Muscle, 220 fixed favourite, 2 out to 220 on track.
Concord Stakes and the Rough and Racing and the favourite Ball of Muscles jumped out right on the bridle. Craftiness, the stablemate out with it. Shiraz pretty handy. Decision Time being eased back. Happy Galaxies railing through. On the inside of Unanimously, Decision Time taken back from Atmospherical, Aeronautical, and Wouldn't Be Nice as the last one. The favourite in front, Ball of Muscle, a half on the stablemate Craftiness. Happy Galaxy railing to third from Unanimously, and Shiraz caught 3 wide the trip. Behind them, Decision Time from Aeronautical. Atmospherical's all boxed up around the corner, and Wouldn't It Be Nice is the last one, but at the top of the straight, Ball of Muscle travelling well for Schofield. Craftiness comes off the bridle in second. Shiraz going to third. It's Ball of Muscle, the insider, half to Craftiness, is starting to wander a bit under pressure. Schofield goes for Ball of Muscle from Craftiness. Shiraz is stretching the outside. Here comes Shiraz. Shiraz charges up on the outside, hits the lead and beats Craftiness. Ball of Muscle found wanting the last 50. Then Aeronautical from Atmospherical, Decision Time, Wouldn't It Be Nice, Happy Galaxy, and Unanimously was last in.
Wow, isn't this horse going really, really well, Shiraz? Shiraz is a winner, Duff.
He's a winner, all right, and that's so are the 2 horses he beat. You have a look at their winning strike rate, so that just shows you how good he is going at the moment. They've broke 58, they've run 57.72, so an amazing achievement from Tony McAvoy to get this horse really flying, 4 from 4 this preparation, and I'll be interested to see what he's thinking as far as his future's concerned.
Well, he was very excited there, Tony McAvoy.
Absolute treat, and he's come up to Sydney off that tough run at Flemington, just dominant.
Yeah, thank you, Caroline. big congratulations to my staff, Barry Wintle and the team out at Hawkesbury.
Now, here's Kermadec, one of Chris Waller's main chances. Glenn Boss with the ride.
He showed good and significant improvement since his last run. Still got a little bit up the sleeve to work with there. He just looks to have returned in great order. The timing's going to be all around the Cox Plate, I'm suggesting, in the Epsom, but could easily win this without surprising. He's only run on a damn track. He won a Doncaster Mile.
Here's the Victoria Derby winner, Preferment. Chad Lever's got the ride.
I think Chris is pretty happy with him as far as his Melbourne Cup dry tracker.
Here's Royal Descent. She's earned just shy of $2.5 million. Hugh Bowman has the ride on the Warwick Stakes winner for Chris Waller.
Great to see her getting back to the winner's circle last time. She's a terrific mare. May got a few favours last time, but she should get similar here today. And that.
Well, Chris, 11 runners. We're not going to go through every single one of them. 4 of them are about 100 to 1. But we'll start on the top 2 in the market. Royal Descent. It was so.
Every stable at this time of the year's got a few spruik horses that we're hoping that come up to our expectations, and he's definitely our stables.
And Race 8 Sadler's Lake Ballet Suite, both races. Well, good luck with them all. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks very much.
What a great group of horses lining up here in the Chelmsford. They're arriving at the gates. Late mail from Ron Dufficy.
All I can report, if you like one of these 4 favourites, press the go button, because they all look in outstanding order. No knock at all. I'm a Hartnell fan. Just a little bit on the toe on going to the barrier.
And that is Royal Descent number 16. After as much as $6 bet about it Monday, $5 Wednesday, $4.20 this morning. Now the $3.60 favourite. I can tell you on course it went up very, very short at $3.20 out to $3.60. A really, really concerted move here for Pornichet. $5 this morning, now $3.70 equal favourite at Tab. On course, $4 out to $4.80, back into $3.60.
Takes over the mile. Tremec's gone up in the air for a moment. Settles now, off and racing, and Kermadec wide out is one of the first heads into stride, but Complacent's going forward together with Royal Descent. Pornichet's caught deep, Hartnell on the bridle pushing forward from beaten up. Hawkspur and Pornichet's caught deep early. Further back to Janud, Preferment, who shot the barm in midfield and 3 wide. 2 further back to Precedence on the rails, a pin in the outside with Moriarty. Then Tremec and the Sydney Cup winner Grand Marshal taken back to last. Complacent goes forward to make the running with Hartnell travelling very strongly up into second. Kermadec found a spot just behind them with Beaten Up and Royal Descent between them. Further back to Janud, Pornichet, the 3/4 to Hawkspur. Further back then to Preferment, who shot the barman off the course, Precedence the rails. Then came Moriarty from Opinion, Tremec, Grand Marshal, and I'm Imposing the last one. Racing down the side of the course, Complacent ahead in front from Hartnell. Kermadec's caught 3 wide from Beaten Up, followed by Royal Descent, Pornichet the outside. Then Janu from Hawkspur, who shot the barman, Precedence. Further back to Preferment, Opinion, Grand Marshal to the outside from I'm Imposing. Moriarty and Tremec is the last one. Complacent leads around the corner from Hartnell, right on the bridle. So's Kermadec the outside. Pornichet's been wide the trip. Further back to Royal Descent and Beaten Up making ground. Complacent asked a kick. It's a length clear. Kermadec's digging in with Pornichet the outside. Hartnell looks to have run his race. Complacent still in front from Kermadec and Pornichet. Complacent a length clear. He's going great guns in the Chelmsford. Here's a bit of an upset. Complacent goes on to beat Kermadec. Royal Descent got through to grab third. Janube flew at the end. Then Hartnell, who shot the barman. Pornichet did it tough. From Precedence, Beaten Up, Preferment. I'm Imposing, Grand Marshal, Moriarty, Tremec. Hawkspur and Opinion was the last in.
Well, what a training performance by John O'Shea to get Complacent home at his second run back from a long, long break. He hadn't raced since Polanski's Victoria Derby back in 2013 when he resumed in the Warwick Stakes. He was interfered with on the home turn when Berberet broke down and he went via the Cape. Today he bounces on the lead, leads all the way at $47. Hats off John O'Shea.
Yeah, tactically brilliant by Clipperton as well, leading up there. He was the forgotten horse in the race. We said after when he resumed first up how well he looked. It's surprisingly how much work had gone into him, those bowed tendon, and no one ever thought we'd get him back. We forget how good a horse he actually was and the promise that he showed. So I'd say no fluke in the performance. If he can keep this horse on 4 legs, he's a good chance. Look, too early to dissect the race yet, but he got all the favours up front and hardly any excuses for the beaten brigade behind him. They were all in the firing line.
And Isn't Sam Clipperton having a great run for Godolphin? He had a big weekend last week at Rosehill.
Yeah, look, it's not a bad job to be in, just second string rider for a team like this at Godolphin, because there's not much between a lot of their runners. Well, on paper there was there, but he's Johnny on the spot, and that won't be the last.
At Randwick, another of the features at Group 2 grade, the Tramway Stakes, and there they are. That's hooked out on the track there, racing around to the 1400 start point. Arabian Gold, first start for Gay Waterhouse, is the 440 fixed favourite, 450 on the tote. Let's just get your numbers quickly, Brass.
13 is special from 16, 6 and 7, Mardo. So Arabian Gold at the top of my list.
$8.50 chance is at 8. Fontina 6 out to 9. Then we've got It's Somewhat as an $8.50 chance on course 9 to 9.50 back into 8.50. Hooked, as we said, well supported 18 into 8.50 on track, 18 into 9 with Tab. Rudy speed runners, when the last few races they haven't made a great.
Stand by for a start. They're off and racing, and Hook jumped very well from the extreme outside draw. Lands a length clear from Ecuador and Arabian Gold are both being hunted up into prominent positions. Followed by It's Somewhat moving up on the outside of Flamingo Star, then Swainess. A length further back to Malice around Sense of Occasion. Rudy's caught pretty deep driving into that first turn. Well back on the rails then is Gypsy Diamond along with Haraki. Then came Kiramosa and a good margin back in the field to Lucia Valentina. And the Melbourne Cup winner Protectionist will settle last after the great start. Hooked on the bridle leads from Arabian Gold, Swiness. Ecuador fourth with cover, followed by It's Somewhat. Then Flamingo Star, Rudy off the course. A length further back in the black cap to Malice from Sense of Occasion, Kiramosa, then Haraki. Gypsy Diamond, Lucia Valentina and Protectionist last. 500 out. And Hook just leads from Arabian Gold and Swiness. Ecuador just waiting for the run behind them, followed by It's Somewhat, Flamingo Star, 3 back the fence. Further back to Rudy and Malice as they straighten up, and Arabian Gold being nursed over the rise to go up and join Hooked. Swainess has still got gas in the tank. Ecuador's got the run on the inside of good enough. It's Hooked trying to repel the challengers. Hooked a length clear. Arabian Gold under pressure. Ecuador gets its chance on the inside. Hooked a half in front from Ecuador. They're the two, but Hooked won't stop. Hooked keeps going in the tramway. Goes on to beat Ecuador, and Rudy a game effort third. Followed by Arabian Gold, Lucia Valentina with an eye-catching runner. Then Kiramosa, Gypsy Diamond on the fence. Further back to It's Somewhat, Haraki, Sense of Occasion, Swainess, Flamingo Star from Protectionist, and Malice was the last one in.
Well, on a day that we honour Bart Cummings, it's appropriate that one of his proteges, John Thompson, gets a winner here with Hooked. Well, Ty Anglin from an outside alley straight to the front, and John Thompson told us before the race this horse would run one cheeky race, and that he did.
Yeah, what a day for John Thompson. The despair of having to scratch first seal out of this race this morning, and he's left with his second stringer, and it's off the map here and gets the money in a very smart ride by Anglin. They read the tactics, they read the track, they read the play of the day, and it certainly paid dividends, just controlling the speed and out-sprinting them. He's a very good horse when he's right, and he's really laid his cards down for the Epsom handicap. That's probably the right style of race with him, where he's going to get it in with a nice weight. The two mares were fantastic there. Lucia Valentina late making up ground. Race wasn't run to suit. And Kiramosa's come up really well, this Kiramosa. She was doing good work late in a race not run to suit as well.
14 has run second, Ecuador, and Rudy was off the track the entire trip. It's battled on well to run third.
He's run an excellent race. I'll have to have another look at that, because he's another one out the back in a race that was hard to make up ground in, and he's did a great job to finish off there, and maybe he's on target.
For the listed Atlantic Jewel Stakes, many of the 1,000 guineas aspirants in action here. Number 6 is the favourite, Stay With Me. 440, 470 on the tote, 440 out to 5, back to 480 on track. Nibbles for any numbers, including Pasadena Girl, $6 into $5.50. Brass, your numbers, please, for the fifth.
We like her, Mardo. It's 113, 6 and 2, so...
1200, they're off. And Haybar first to split what was a good line, bounced a length and a half in front. Into second placing quickly is Sweet Redemption as they settle down. Inner City Girl right up there third. Grisby's runner fourth, and they're followed a length and a half further back by Saga On. Just one moment, trailed then by, over on the inside is La Zumba. Around the outside, Jamaica improving quickly, deep out, followed by Don't Doubt Marley, our Vidia. A length further back in the field, Stay With Me. A good way back and third last coming up the side is Badawia. Pasadena Pasadena Girl second last, and Don't Tell Mama is last. 600 left to go, and Haybar has the lead from Sweet Redemption. Jamaica deep out third. Inner City Girl fourth, the inside, then Grisby's Run, followed by Just One Moment, Saga on, Don't Tell Marley. Then came our Video. A long way back is Stay With Me, starting to make some ground now, and they're followed by 2 lengths away Pasadena Girl, and Hard Written is Butterweir. They're coming around the turn now, and Haybar the leader from Sweet Redemption. Jamaica, Stay With Me, skirts right around the outside, and she's starting to come with a charging run. Stay With Me raced up with about 50 to go, claimed the lead. Pasadena Girl flies home. Stay With Me wins from Pasadena Girl. First two are outstanding, obviously. Jamaica and Don't Tell Mama are in photos for the next position. Getting home then was Butterweir at the end of the race from Don't Tell Marley. And then came our Video, Haybar Weekend, Saga on, Grisby's Run, Just One Moment, La Zumba back towards the tail from our Video and Inner City Girl.
The daughter of Street Cry and Miss Finland, Stay With Me, outstanding. Makes it 2 from 2 this preparation for Hayes and Dabeneg. Dwayne Dunn in the saddle this afternoon. Too Good from back in the field. It was a $15 chance in the 1,000 guineas prior to that performance. Pasadena Girl, a nice return at $2. Issue for 3rd and 4th, rest between the 2, Jamaica, and the 9, Don't Tell Mama, after the running of the listed Atlantic Jewel Stakes. Race 5 to this race at the Valley. Tell you what's doing on track as well, where the favourite is Contributor, resuming from a break. 3 from 3 in the autumn. 2 out to 2.15 on track. It's a 2.20 fixed and pari-mutual favourite. The Cleaner, the defending champ, is sitting on the second line. 5 out to 5.50, back to 5, back to 5.50. Brass, we might get your numbers quickly for the Dardo 10.
Yes, I'd Contributor a special, like a lot of people here, Marto. So 4 on top, 3, 5 and 1. Contributor on top ahead of Marino. The Cleaner, 4 Teller, so pretty much
60 set for the Dardo 10 at the Valley. Here's Greg.
Away they go, and Contributor jumps evenly down on the inside, and as they settle into stride, now the Cleaner kicks up on the outside. Kenjawood is there as well with Mourinho. Just off them is Dibiani and Bankamo on the rail. Settling fully into stride though, and it's the Cleaner who's working his way to the lead on the outside, about to cross to the fence, and the Cleaner takes it up into the back. He's 2 lengths on Kenjawood. Mourinho's 3rd on the fence, a length and a half to Dibiani in 4th, and Contributor 5th on the rails. They're 2 lengths clear from No Tricks. Bankamo, a further 2 lengths to Bagman. Another 2 lengths away in the field came Ethiopia. Second last is 4 Teller, and Gallant brings up the rear. The Cleaner the leader, 900 left to go. He's 2 lengths clear. Kenjawood in second placing. Mourinho's on the rail. 1 further back is Dibiani. Contributor enjoys the lovely trail. He's 5th along the rails, followed by No Tricks. A length further back, Bankamo, Bagman, 4 Teller, Ethiopia, and 2 lengths away, Gallant. So they're coming up the side, and the Cleaner out by a length to Kenjawood, Mourinho and Dibiani. Now Contributor, what's Dunn going to do? He just has to wait for the time being. On his outside is No Tricks, and Bagman starting to make some ground. The Cleaner is the leader coming around the turn. Mourinho soared along, trying for an inside run. Kenjawood is still there from Dibiani. Dunn is forcing his passage on Contributor. He's got him away from the rails. He's about to come with his run, and Bagman next. The Cleaner leads by 2 lengths though into the straight from Kenjawood, Dibiani, Contributor and Bagman coming down the outside, but the Cleaner's well clear. He's 2 lengths in front, and Too Good for them. The Cleaner by 2 lengths to Bagman, Dibiani. Kenjawood might grab 4th just in front of Contributor, then Mourinho, followed by Bankamo and No Tricks. 4 Teller didn't come on, then Gallant, and a distant last in the race, Ethiopia. Back to back for the Cleaner.
For Mick Burles and Noel Callow, leads throughout at 5.30, 170. Bagman home nicely for second at 4.30, 2.20 for Dibiani, and Contributor finishes either 4th or 5th. You don't think it looked happy around the turn there, Brass?
No, he just didn't seem to look too comfortable. He did make the ground, so he's booting on his merits, but he didn't seem an entirely happy horse around the Valley.
Yeah, 3 starts now at the distance. Well, now 4 starts at the mile at Moonee Valley for 4 wins. So he's something, and good ride by Noel Callow.
Was a 5th.
The Sweet Vamp, I would suggest. Harada Tat Tat was flying home at the end, the 7. There's no doubts about the winner. And it's hung on for second there, Sweet Vamp, so 3 and 5 into the frame.
So 3's beaten the 5. It's run second. 7 certainly prominent for third. Flashed them when we're official after the running of race 6 at Grafton. Thanks to Anthony for his help there. 3's beaten 5 and just awaiting confirmation of third. Group 2, McEwen Stakes is over the 1,000 metres, featuring the return of Chautauqua. It's the favourite, 265 fixed, 250 on the tote, 260 into 250, back to 260 on track. It is written 26 into 8.
I haven't got him on top here, Mano. I've actually gone with Chautauqua. He's an exciting sprinter. He's drawn to stay out of trouble and he's got that phenomenal closing speed, so I have to go with him.
They're up. And Chautauqua jumps evenly, drifts back early. And I'm All the Talk is the first to bounce out from Systonic, Flamberge, Sweet Emily kicking up on the inside. Ahead then as they settle into stride to Kura. Now Chautauqua's his fourth last. And settling fully, Systonic drives up on the inside and joins I'm All the Talk. 2 lengths away as Furnaces. Sweet Emily's fourth on the inside, 2 Flamberge. Kuro down on the inside as they went through the gap. 2 to Tycoon Tara, followed then by It Is Written, a further 2 lengths away. Chautauqua about 8 lengths off the speed as they neared the turn 3. Klashina the quarterback and Written Dash around the bend now. Systonic with I'm All the Talk, a length in front of Furnace is about to peel and go. Then Flamberge coming on. Behind them Sweet Emily hooks to the inside and then Kuro. Chautauqua tries to come to the outside, a fair bit to do. Furnace has hit the front. Here's Chautauqua. Oh, gobbles them up with Flamberge. Went straight past them. He's good, isn't he? It's Chautauqua beating Flamberge again. Furnaces ran third. Good go for fourth. Sweet Emily or Klashina out wide. Then the quarterback, Tycoon Tarakuro. It Is Written. Back behind those then was Written Dash. And dropping right out of it, I'm All the Talk. And bad last is Systonic.
Chautauqua from 9th. Wins running away at 271.50 from Flamberge at $1.70. Furnaces runs third at $1.80. Geez, a good horse, the winner.
Exciting horse, isn't he? That's his racing style. He was many lengths off, I reckon. Almost 12 lengths off at one stage there after 200 metres, and there he is just clearing away.
Dwayne Dunn and Team Hawks combined. Not a lot of luck there for Kuro, Brass.
Oh, he ran into all sorts of trouble. He was travelling off the bend.
Now for race number 5, just getting a bit of a rundown from Ray Murray out of the steward's room in that previous race stuff. He said,
looking at that replay,
5, our mounting yard here, brought to you by Harvey Norman. Shop with confidence online.
$10 chance with Tab. Peeping just gets easy, $7.50 out to 9. She's at $8.50. Bounding and Catkins dominate here, the 2 best mares. And she gets to $1.70 on track. Bounding $1.65.
And they're off and racing, and Echo Gal got the best of the start. Catkins away well, Bounding away well. Fine Miss the outside, Mahiri peeping on the fence. Catkins drifting back now from Sapara, slightly sweetened. 50 Shades of Grey is the last one. Echo Gal is just the leader with Bounding moving up and Fine Miss the outside. Fine Miss goes up outside Echo Gal, so Abdullah takes the sit on Bounding. She settles third on the outside of Peeping. 2 further back to Mahiri, 2 off to Catkins. Then Sapara, 50 Shades of Grey and Slightly Sweet the last one. At the 600 metres, Echo Gala half in front of Fine Mist. Peeping tucked away on the inside of the short favourite Bounding. 2 further back to Mahiri and 2 further back to Catkins as they flatten for the run home down the Shirako. Echo Gal on top of the ground today. 2 in front of Fine Mist and Peeping. Bounding being popped the question. Catkins to the outside of Mahiri. Echo Gal's full of running at the 250. Bounding is trying hard. Catkins running on powerfully. Echo Gal in front. Catkins, she's coming hard in the middle part of the course. Catkins gunning down Echo Gal. Bounding can't go with them. And this mighty mare Catkins, what a great first up win. Echo Gal second, third not sure. Bounding and Slightly Sweet. Then 50 Shades of Grey, Mahiri. Sapara from Fine Mist and Peeping the last one to finish.
Well, what a mare. What a great mare. I think Ronnie Duff, as he said, she's the darling of the turf. Well, they cheered and cheered her here once she loomed up and looked a winning chance. And even James McDonald shaking his head. That's given him a big thrill.
Wow. To think they bet $7.50 that. The bloke should have had some brains and saved on it. But anyway, look, it's...
You did say it was an embarrassment to Catkins that she was such a big price.
That's right. And I said that usually the market doesn't lie, but it certainly did today when you're talking horses with her ability. She just rounded them up and said, look, I'm the queen of the turf here, and away she went. It was an amazing win. Bounding struggled on. She's just so hard to place now. You put her in mare's class, the handicap conditions, they give her the grandstand on her back. You get a race with set weights, she's nearly untouchable. So it's up to Chris Waller to place her and get more wins out of her, and I'm sure he will.
OK, 2, 5, 1 and 3 the numbers. Here's Bernadette with it.
Absolutely. She's the pride of Sydney racing as a mare, and her record speaks for herself.
She really wanted to win, didn't she?
She's an absolute privilege to ride, you know. Look at her, she doesn't care at all, but geez, it'd be good to keep the ride, Huey Bowman.
And I bet you'd like to kiss her.
Oh, absolutely, I'd marry this one.
You'd marry. Well done.
Thanks.
You're married.
Caviar, but if they're winning, and especially the grey and the cerise that sticks out, it captures a few people. She's got a lot of followers.
You thought she might have been...
England knows the horse into deny her victory, no histories against her, but a very positive booking with Brett Preble and a number 2 Exosphere. We'll see if he can produce it on the firmer going today. I've gone 1, 9 and 2 for the Golden Rose.
Early well and truly has the best view, and Duff, your top 4 here. What's the late mail for the Golden Rose?
Yeah, not too many negatives here. I'm going for a minor upset, 8, 2, 1 and 5 with Holler. Hopefully he can get a little rest on speed here. I know he can sprint and dash, and he'll give you a run for your money at the big odds. Definitely the dangers of the 2 class horses up the top. Exosphere, absolutely perfect from him. No problems, 10 out of 10 parade from number 1, Press Statement. We know how good he is. He's just only beaten one start. That was first up.
You know, I think that's an advantage being in this race. He'll be able to dictate.
20. He's always been around $293. He hasn't really got a lot past that all week with us. Press Statement on the second line of...
Golden Rose over the 1,400 metres. We're set for a start. So a bit of movement wide out. They're off and racing now. Sebring Sun taken back, and Holler won the break, but Speak Fondly quickly musters underneath, and the pair go stride for stride in the early part. Press Statement lands a great spot. Let's Make It Rain trying to get over. Then Exosphere has got in front of Shards. A length further back to Regis, and 2 lengths last is Sebring Sun. Preble takes Speak Fondly to a narrow lead from Holler, but they're not going hard up front. Let's Make It Rain into third, followed by Press Statement, and a half the inside to Exosphere driving through. Shards behind them from Regis, and the last one is Sebring Sun. Down the side of the course, it's Speak Fondly and Holler. They're not going hard at all here. From Let's Make It Rain, Exosphere and Press Statement caught wide. Further back then to Regis from Shards the outside, and 2 after Sebring Sun. They're fairly well bunched. It's Speak Fondly, the rouser, head in front from Holler the outside. Then Let's Make It Rain. Press Statement just waiting for the gap to open up. Exosphere the inside of Regis. Then Shards and Sebring Sun's last. Speak Fondly popped the question. There's a mile of room for Exosphere to go through. Then Holler, Let's Make It Rain. Press Statement's in a pocket and got a bump. Speak Fondly just in front, but Exosphere looms, and Exosphere charges to the lead. Exosphere draws away from Speak Fondly. Sebring Sun running on, and then Press Statement went clear, but it's Exosphere. The Golden Rose is his, and Exosphere bolts up from Speak Fondly. Sebring Sun third, just in front of Regis and Press Statement, who didn't get much room when he needed it. Further back to Let's Make It Rain, and the last 2, Shards and Holler.
Well, what a wonderful colt he is. Exosphere runs away with the De Bortley Wines Golden Rose. It was like the Red Sea parting at the top of the straight. You were waiting to see what McDonald was going to do. Ty England couldn't get the run. It opened for James McDonald and threw in Exosphere.
Yeah, what a top-class colt he is too. That was a slowly run race. He's even more effective when he gets speed on up front, and he's just simply demolished that opposition late there in a race that had a bit of depth in it. So he's going to be a star. You know, there's your ruling Guineas favourite there, the Caulfield Guineas, and who knows, if he couldn't freshen up into a Coolmore. It has to be forgiving for the top weight there. He hit a bad spot at a wrong time there, Press Statement. Sebring Sun's run on. She's battled on beautifully, the filly there, after getting a soft lead, Speak Fondly. And the 2 Godolphin horses were very disappointing out the back, but they don't care about that. They've got the winner.
John, race for a long time. Honestly, to say, when I first moved over, or wherever I had my first ride in this race, I rode an unbelievable good colt called Foxwood. Nothing went to plan. So it's good to put His Highness Sheikh Mohammed's colours on and ride this race. It's super colt, unbelievable.
Obviously,
will it or won't it, but it did.
Yeah, I think when Brett rolled to the rail, I think that was a decision that, you know, we're either going to go up his inside or come to his outside. And when he rolled to the rail, there was always going to be a gap there. So, you know he's got a great turn of foot and he's hard to run down.
You said last time after the run of the rail.
But he's growing into himself. He's becoming a very handsome horse with it now. But he was always a big. He showed John O'Shea ability right from the beginning. And I remember before the 2-year-old races started last year, John had him earmarked as a top liner.
Yeah, and he's now cemented.
From Speed Podley.
Oh, brilliant day for James McDonald and a big win there for Godolphin / Darley. They get another stallion of the future. Exosphere wins the Group 1 Golden Rose. Will he head to the Caulfield Guineas? He'll be no doubt right up at the top.
Horse stuck 3 deep, was a little bit of a nuisance to Press Staben, who controlled the race with Exosphere back inside him. At the top of the straight, Ty England thought that that's a place to be. But when he looked over his right shoulder, James McDonald slipped up inside him and then he controlled the race because they opened up. Great win, great colt.
And we're going to see, obviously, a big story coming out of the race. John O'Shea demanding that his two other runners who were stabled at Warwick Farm to be swabbed because they ran very poorly. He's concerned that they were got at or whether there's that virus at Warwick Farm. So we'll follow that story through. Talking about break.
We're down to race number 7. Always a good race, the Theo Marks, and we get to see Winks back at the races today. What a wonderful Queensland campaign she had. She had a great autumn as well, but she just seemed to go bang in Queensland.
Yeah, at first you thought her and First Seal, and then First Seal looked the better filly, but this filly really, showed herself up there over the Brisbane Winter Carnival, and it'd be nice to see her come back with a good run here because I think they're really hot.
Very, very confident go for Winks here. James McDonald leads the Jockey's Challenge on 10 points over Brett Navdala and 8. And James McDonald on Winks here, Gregory.
Yes, he's got it, and J-Mac in the last race of the day will be riding... What has he got in the last?
Oh, Dixon, we're set for a start. Stand by for a break. In the Theo Marks, and Strawberry Boys jumped well together with Nostradamus. 9th Legion handy, but Strawberry Boys pressing on. Messina's right with the leaders as well. Decision times off the course going forward. It's a real clump of leaders, followed by Heart Tester, Sons of John on the rails. Further back then to Amanpour from Boss Lane. Famous Seamus. Winks is second last, and Turbulent Jet the last one. Strawberry Boy takes up the running of the 800, a half in front of Decision Time. Messine positions on the outside of 9th Legion, followed by Vashka just behind them. Heart Tester off the course and pressing forward from Nostradamus, Sons of John. They're followed further back then by Amanpour. He's got shuffled back through the field. Famous Seamus, the rails from Boss Lane. Winks and Turbulent Jet is hugging the rails as they straighten up. Winks is still back last into the straight. Strawberry Boy leads from Decision Time, and Heart Tester the outside. 9th Legion coming off the fence. Then came Messine from Sons of John, and Vashka running on. Strawberry Boy still the leader from 9th Legion. Heart Tester's out very wide. They're followed further back by Winks, is about 5 lengths off them. 9th Legion hits up, goes up to hit the lead from Strawberry Boy. Sons of John's driving through. Winks flying. Oh, did she get there? Oh, Winks has flown at Sons of John. What a powerhouse finish. It's a photo. 9th Legion and Strawberry Boy have just been collared. Then Famous Seamus, Turbulent Jet, Decision Time, Messine, Heart Tester, Vashka, Boss Lane, Nostradamus, Aoman, and Amanpour was last in. Has she...
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. If she has won, we'll take you back on the home turn and show you the trouble she got. But now, beyond doubt, she has the biggest finish in racing. She is unbelievable. Has she got there? Yes, she has. Yes, she has.
Wow.
Incredible, Duff.
Wow. She got stood on her head coming to the turn, lost all momentum. I think Amanpour was the horse that come back in a lap. We'll have to have another look at it, but No wonder they said this morning, make sure you back her on the Epsom before she runs today, because there's your new Epsom favourite. There's no doubt in the wide world. What about this horse from Hawkesbury, Sons of John? What a performance. He's run right up to his trials. There's no doubt about that. And the other Hawkesbury horse, Famous Seamus, has run well. And the two horses on the inside, the quality horses who look to have scope for improvement there, but they had a few on-pace favours in Strawberry Boy and Ninth Legion. So a race we'll have to have a few more looks at, but wow, what a performance this was. Well, it's not the first time she's done something like this. There's something freakish about her.
Remember what she did up there at the Sunshine Coast. In the Sunshine Coast Guineas, came from an impossible position and she blew them away in the Oaks. At the 200-metre mark, then she starts to really pick up. Watch this last 100, the last 50. Sons of John's about to go up and hit the lead, but you can't hold her out.
No.
She's incredible. She
just has a tremendous will to win. She savages the line, and she is a ripper.
Been in town.
Yeah, absolutely. She's going to have to definitely step up to be as good as Catkins, but she's definitely well on her way.
That was an unbelievable win, flattened at the top of the straight.
Yeah, she took a bit to get going. I let her just flop out and let her gather momentum, but she's a serious racehorse, and serious racehorses can overcome problems, and that's what she did today.
An enormous...
unforgettable win. There is no horse with a bigger finish than your girl.
No, it's impressive to watch, that's for sure. Maybe Catkins gets close.
Yes. Well, it's hard to think that any horse could overshadow Catkins today, but I think that is going to be talked about.
I think today's been a very special day, not just for our stable, Godolphin, and yeah,
you want to concentrate at Winks. Here is the Queensland Oaks winner. She is last. Don't adjust your sets. Blue colours, white pom-pom. J Mac has not asked for an effort until the last 300 metres. What's your sprout, Wings?
Deflator further back by Winks is about 5 lengths off them. Ninth Legion hits up, goes up to hit the lead from Strawberry Boy. Sons of John's driving through. Winks flying. Oh, did she get there? Oh, Winks has flown at Sons of...
How did she win? I know she was your best bet of the day, Simon. You were really keen on her.
Yep, have a look.
Where will she go? I think the plan is, well, they're going to keep her south of 2,400 metres. She's not going to the Caulfield Cup. Cox Plate, so she'll be Epsom into Cox Plate, then maybe back towards the mire.
Interesting if the clock... There's the residual fitness from his horses. Follow those horses that raced in Doomben. She looked fantastic there yesterday. She got checked at the 550 by Boss Lane at the top of the straight when she just got on heels. So it just added a bit more credit to Winks' win there. I love the fact that she's going towards the Epsom and the Cox Plate. She's got that sit back, relax, turn a foot, 4-year-old mare on the rise. Ooh!
You may have noticed on that Cox Plate.
Shadow has them, they're standing well. They're ready now, they're away. And Petite Falou jumps okay from the stall 6 and away quickly Take Pride, and also showing some speed Lucia. In behind them in the early stages was Grey Street. Now Parcel goes to the outside. She's a very speedy filly, and Petite Falou's right up there quite keen. Outside of it is Thurlow and Grey Street. In behind them is Super Cash and Lucia, My Popette. Down towards the middle of the course here, and Nadawada's starting to finish the race off fairly well with Miss Idyllic, and Serenader's just in behind them. Payrollers under pressure. Parcel on the outside. I don't think she's in the hunt at the 250 now, and Petite Falou let loose by Oliver, and a lovely turn of foot. Saw her kick a couple of lengths in front of Take Pride. Serenade and My Popette are running on, and so is Super Cash, but with 100 to go, Petite Falou's 2 or 3 lengths in front of the chasing pack and maintains the unbeaten run. Beat Super Cash by 2 lengths. Getting up for third, it's either Take Pride or My Popette in a photo ahead of Serenade, Miss Idyllic, and then came Lucia and Strike 'em down on the inside. Ahead of Payroll, who looked a bit lost up the straight. Probably the next one over would have been Parcel. She went solo outside but was never in it. The Greys finished pretty close together, Grey Street and the Grey Flash. Nadawat towards the end, Thurlow unsighted. She's about one of the last home.
Well, she's a bona fide star now, Petite Falou. She's 4 from 4, and Damien Oliver knows her so well. He looks around, he can't believe the ease of this victory. Any concerns down the straight were put to bed fairly shortly. Just went whooshka just space them. And the thing you love about her is she travels in a keen manner, but when he asks her for the ultimate effort, she's got an acceleration the rest of them can only dream of. And in the end, he eases it.
1:2.72. She's 3 lengths off a course record. She's a new season 3-year-old on a good 3-track first day of Makybe Diva Stakes Day, and she smashed the clock here for the 4th time in her career and absorbed a bit of pressure again. A little bit keen earlier, went to the outside rail. I've seen one horse in my life win solo on the outside fence. Schwarzier, she isn't that.
She certainly isn't, and the clock does not lie. That is amazing. She's run 102. It's just been adjusted. 102.85 says one clock, 102.72 says the other. Regardless of which one it is low flying for a 3-year-old filly at her 4th career start.
It is that, an outstanding win.
Good fillies, and where's this one, Ray? I mean, she's pretty exciting.
Yeah, she's pure quality, Sam. She rates up there with the best of them. She's got electrifying brilliance, and you just got to spend most of the race getting her to relax, you know. She flew the gates today. I think jumped nearly a length in front, and but she did come back better today. Relaxed a little bit, but then quickened when I wanted her. She's all class.
Damien, you've ridden many top-class fillies in your time. On time, she looks well and truly on her way.
She is, yeah. She's just seems to be getting better every time, and you know, she's got that explosive acceleration when you really.
1:2.15. She runs 1:2.85 as a 3-year-old filly at her 4th career start. She does it at both ends. She's got the speed to put herself in the race, the ability, and then still to kick home in 32.81. And then the last 200 metres just puts the throttle away. And 11.61. Super Cash, Take Pride. My Pipette first up from Spell. Certainly pass marks. Ditto there for Serenade. Parcel, well, that was a strange tactic. Went down on the outside rail on its own. But Petite Falou was awesome, and the clock doesn't lie.
Absolutely. This might be the shot that I was going to ask you about, so I'm not sure if Ollie completely does it here, but it was pointed out to me by a jockey last night. Ollie, it's very hard for me to visually describe it, but Ollie separates the reins, pulls the bit either side through the horse's mouth, and then slaps them with the reins a bit. Have you noticed that? You notice it a lot on disposition when you look at that replay. He separates his...
Getting that whip hand and whip hold. What I like about Petite Falou, though, is what you see is what you get. She is a professional racehorse. She's got wonderful tactical speed. She really is a bulldog because she gets that nervous energy a little bit before the race. You see her sweating on the neck and getting a little bit hot, but she controls the race. Ollie's trying to get her to relax and try and run a lazy 34.5, 35, that first 600 coming out of the straight the first time. The slower, the better, because he knows from the 6 to the 4 to the 2, she is just going to light it up, and the sectional times suggest that. So if she doesn't get taken on, which she didn't down the straight here, she's always going to smash and burn and turn the rest of the contenders because she can run those quick sectionals. Great straight line here, good head-on shot. Miss Poppet was terrific coming out there first up there for the Smurden team in the red colours.
Danehill Stakes, and I thought the betting might have been dominated by 2 runners, but it's not the case. Ready for Victory is still the favourite at $3.20, and we get good support for it because it is a talented individual. Black Vanquish, 7s into $5.50, but Raphael's Cat has had good support today. At one stage, Raphael's Cat was at $7.50. Now it's into $6. So those 3 have broken away, but we've had some bets on number 12, Rima. We had 3,000 on King Like at $11, and not on the page. We've also had a little bit of money, $2,500 well sprung at big odds. So it's turned into a really good betting race, this, as we look ahead.
Seaboy, the mighty Black Caviar, Jetspur, Fastnet Rock, just some of the great winners of the Danehill Stakes. And we make our way into the mounting yard.
At Richo, he certainly is very fit. He presents in great order. Big lump of a son of Exceed.
First up run.
Youngster form.
And he's getting well backed late on track as well. 17 out to 18 into $12. Ready for Victory, $3.50, $3.60 into $3.20, back to $3.30.
6. They're racing. Ready for Victory, one of the first to bounce out and away quickly in the early stages too was Raphael the Cat. And just in behind them, Black Vanquish staying right over near the inside. He's very prominent. Wider out was Danuki, and Headwaters coming across to join the front runners. But Black Vanquish close to the inside shows the way. Brock offers second, moving into third placing. Then on the outside, Raphael's Cat. And wider was Headwater, a little bit keen. And they're followed by King Like. Just in behind those horses, then down to the inside, Boston Light. Wider was Danuki. Now Ready for Victory's right over on the inside, following Black Vanquish, about 3 lengths off the lead. Back behind those horses then is Well Sprung. Well back in the field then is Puritan. Rima's back to the tail end of the field, and one of the last under the whip is Last Bullet. So they come down now. 300 metres left to go. Raphael's Cat went straight past Black Vanquish. Ready for Victory. Tried to get up on the inside. Got disappointed for a run. Headwaters coming on, and King Like coming too. Raphael's Cat the leader. 150 metres to go. King Like is the danger, starting to scorch down the outside. King Like at the 100. He went up and he's taken the lead. Draws away, and King Like comes clear. An impressive winner from Raphael's Cat and Ready for Victory. They're in a photo for the Miners. 3 lengths in front of either Puritan fourth or Brockoff. 14 on the outside, and then Black Vanquish, who weakened in the run home, and they're followed by Last Bullet. Back behind them, Headwater dropped out of it, so behind those was Boston Light, Danuki, and Well Sprung last home.
Oh, big first up assignment and a big first up win to King Like. Peter Moody threw him straight in the deep end and said, you can go first up down the straight at Flemington in a Group 2 sprint in the Danehill, and he delivers in spades. A big win there. King Like, start number 3 in his career, really promising. Bossy loves it. He pumps the air and says, that is awesome. Raphael's Cat runs second, and Puritan looking close there for fourth. King Like at 13.50 and 3.60. Peter Moody has told absolutely everyone that this is a horse he's really excited about, and there's a lot to be excited about.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to be 2 lengths clear when you do that. And I begged David Moody, his owner, I rang him up and begged him if I could ride this colt. He's probably, and I begged Peter, I said, of all the horses in your stable, can you just let me ride this one horse? And he's justified it. He's backed up what I thought, because yeah, Pete's got a very, very good colt here. Really?
He's got the type, and the performance is the thing to follow, and hopefully he'll go on from today.
You certainly raised a good point.
I asked Peter Moody at a MRC members night, who's the first horse you check every morning? And he said, without even hesitation, King Like. He was at $12, opened at 9, drifted to 12, and shows an unbelievable acceleration. Raphael's Cat continues his consistent form from Sydney, and Ready for Victory is certainly ready for victory. He is back in the yellow and red colours. Back on the rail is Ready for Victory. Now, the winner in David Moody's contract racing lime green colours.
Then is Puritan. Rima's back to the tail end of the field, and one of the last under the whip is Last Bullet. So they come down now. 300 metres left to go. Raphael's Cat went straight past Black Vanquish. Ready for Victory. Tried to get up on the inside. Got disappointed for a run. Headwaters coming on, and King Like coming too. Raphael's Cat the leader. 150 metres to go. King Like is the danger, starting to scorch down the outside. King Like at the 100. He went up and he's taken the lead. Draws away, and King Like comes clear. An impressive winner from Raphael's Cat and Ready for Victory. They're in a photo for the Miners. 3 lengths in front of either Puritan fourth or Brockoff.
And Bossy punches the air. He was so excited. He loves this colt. He sprints home in 33.71, up near the speed. Home the last 200 metres in the fastest of the race, 11.78. Ready for Victory. He's probably looking for 1,400 metres now. He's ticking over beautifully. Hits the line nicely in third. The filly Rima, who got back and hit the line nicely. She'd been on speed with her first up win. She got back and hit the line nicely. And Matt, I think we've seen a nice colt there.
Is there any greater tip than first horse trainer checks when he goes to the stable at 3 o'clock in the morning?
I love asking that question.
with sweat on his brow, checking checking the good horse. And what about the fist pump from Glenn Boss? It tells you a little bit about where he's at this stage of his career, doesn't he? He's now in his mid to late 40s, Bossy. Every spring becomes that little bit more difficult with the younger guys coming through, and he's such a big stage player, Bossy. He loves being part of it in the spring, and I think he really strongly feels that he's got the mount that will take him a long way through to the spring now. So that was the elation there from Bossy, wasn't it?
And the story of the race is he begged Peter Moody. He said to Peter Moody, because he's been doing a lot of track work there, of course, now that Luke Nolan's injured, and said, if I asked David Moody, and he said, we've had a bit of history together, quote unquote, if I asked David Moody and he says yes, can I ride this horse? That's how excited he was, and he said he cleared the air with David Moody, and now he's got himself on a serious sprinting colt.
Oh, absolutely.
betting race because the favourite Rich Enough turned into a pauper for quite a while. It was $3.40 at one stage and got out to $4.60 before we took a $12,000 bet, and the world is sort of correcting itself on its axis now because at one stage Kaepernick had got in from $9 to $4.80. That's back out to $7.50. We haven't forgotten Lucky Hustler, $6.50 to $7, and there is support for the Hayes Dabinig pair in Griegers, 13s into 10s, and Churchill Dancer, which is 11s in early markets back into 7. So really good betting race. This one, it is race.
Terrific sprint won last year by the star Chautauqua, who was first up from a spell. Looking from a historical point of view, looking at the last decade here, 5 of the past 10 winners have been fresh, and 4 of the past 10 favourites have won the race. And at the moment, the favourite on the tote and also on course is Rich Enough, who won on this day last year, winning the Danehill Stakes. Into the mounting yard we go for the Group 2 sprint. The Bob.
And Rich Enough jumped well over towards the middle of the course there, and Gregor's hopped out of the stalls quickly with Churchill Dancer, and Rizes and Il Cavallo is wide out and showing plenty of speed as they settle into stride. Sterling City not far away from the lead, but it's Rich Enough who shows the way. Sterling City on his inside. Gregor's improving quickly, gets up outside of the leader. Lucky Hustler and Churchill Dancer just in behind them, followed by Satinum, and wider was Rizes and the Gold Cap, being followed by Amarino, Worthy Cause. Back behind those horses then is Kaepernick. Out deep on the course was at the head of the others Il Cavallo, who's being tracked up by Jabali, and Under the Louvre's last. They're running down past the 500 metres now, and Gregors had moved up and went to Rich Enough, who's under a lot of pressure down on the inside. Wider was Churchill Dancer, Worthy Cause deeper, and Kaepernick starting to come home, and Lucky Hustler's got right up on the inside. Gregors in front from Lucky Hustler. Churchill Dancer wider out. Rich Enough boxing. Gregors in front, 100 metres to go. Churchill Dancer, the stablemate after it. It's Gregors, Churchill Dancer. Under the Louvre flying home. Churchill Dancer hit the lead late. Churchill Dancer just gets in from either Under the Louvre or Gregors. Lucky Hustler 4 from either Amarino or Rich Enough. And then Worthy Cause, Setinum, followed further back then by Sterling City. Back behind those to finish Rizes, Kaepernick, Il Cavallo and Jabali.
He just keeps improving, this horse. Churchill Dancer, he's had the knee operation through in between campaigns, and he's just gone to a different level. He's just so consistent. The Hayes Dabinig team fight out the race. Gregors really did improve, and Churchill Dancer with Michael D. He gets a Group 2 win here for the Hayes Dabinig team. Under the 5th will be number 3.
And, the interest in the race, of course, is Rich Enough, but it was a fit, in-form sprinter who's just so solid, and that is Churchill Dancer. Michael D, or David Hayes and Tom Dabinig. Michael had never ridden for them before, but as David said after the race, I've admired him from afar, put him on. Michael Walker couldn't get down to the weight, and
Hustler 4 from either.
Fit, honest, loves the straight, has had a knee operation and has come back a totally different animal this preparation, and will be heading towards races like the Gill Guy. Sprints home in 32.90. Under the Louvre is always a sectional star because he gets back and smashes the clock late. Can't wait to see him again. There was a contrast, Matt. We a lot of sprinters, but there's just an honest campaigner who wins.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're off, aren't you? Kenny Keys before the race. Did you see what happened in the mounting yard? The horse was flying up. Kenny ended up in the rose garden covered in prickles and watched it leaning over a rail and watched Rich Enough fade out of it. And I remember something Kenny Keys said when Rich Enough was first injured after that really big spring. He said something like, the highs are rare and the lows are relentless. And second time around, it just hasn't quite worked out. I still think the last chance for Rich Enough might be when he gets to 1400, fully fit, and then just rolling along. And maybe the Sir Rupert Clarke might be the absolute D-Day. But, I mean, it's been a pretty deflating few weeks for Kenny Keys, hasn't it? And full of prickles.
I just think prickles.
I think another good go, $3.80 into $2.70. We sort of touched $3.80, and that was a silly thing to do. Even at $3.20, they're prepared to take $5,000 bets at will. Vézelay in the market, 10s into 7s. Cosmic Endeavour won.
It's a Group 2 race. Can the Corson's team with Vézelay win it for the 3rd year in a row? Commanding Jewel has won the last 2. Let's Elope Stakes, Pinka, Mimi LeBrock, Devil Moon, Rawaya, even the Caulfield Cup winner Mannerism have been able to good enough to win a Let's Elope Stakes. Stakes, and Damien...
Race, she's here in good form. You only have to look at her. She looks immaculate, and, you know, if I can give her a good ride, she's going to be there when the whips are cracking. Best of luck, Blake. Thanks, mate.
And she's a $10 chance, having a chat to Blake before. He basically put it in the hands of...
A couple of the jockeys calling out, not quite ready. Now they're off. Noble Protector jumped away okay. Madam Gangster missed it. Jockey nearly lost an iron, and he's right out the back on her. And first out, Platinum Rock ahead of Noble Protector and Tortine. And Veselay gets a good trail, just into fourth placing early, followed by Fenway, Miss Rose Delago, and then Cosmic Endeavour. A length and a half further back, May's Dream on the inside of Nimini Pimini, and then came Maastricht, followed by Precious Gem, a good way back, followed by Loved Up. They put the 1,000 metres behind them, then Amicus moving up, followed by Amarella Lady Kumquat and Madam Gangster, who blew the start last. 12 lengths covered them. Tortine led Platinum Rocker. In behind them, Noble Protector getting a lovely trail. And ditto that one for on the outside in fourth placing, Veselay. As they sweep towards the home turn, they're followed by Miss Rose Delago. Cosmic Endeavour peeling out wide in the famous Cummings colours. In behind them is Fenway, followed by May's Dream. They're bunching up around the home turn. Tortine, the leader, into the straight. By about a length to Platinum Rocker. Noble Protector boxed up. Veselay is starting to come with Miss Rose Delago. May's Dream running up onto heels, and wider was Cosmic Endeavour. 300 left to go now. Veselay gets the split, pounced on the front at the 200. Miss Rose Delago. Here's Cosmic Endeavour coming on down the outside. Veselay in front by a bit of length. May's Dream, she's finally got through. May's Dream coming after Veselay. Amicus starts to fly, 5 across the track, and Amicus right over on the outside picked them up. And one from either Miss Rose Delago, May's Dream, Cosmic Endeavour, Veselay and Precious Gem. They're all alive for placings in a blanket finish to the race. Platinum Rocket just off them. Noble Protector got out, sprinted in the run home, and they're followed by Nimini Pimini, Loved Up Fenway, followed by Amarella Maastricht, Madam Gangster, Lady Kumquat, Tortine. Amicus will win, but there's about 5 across the track for the Miners with about a head between them.
Amicus wins. The 1,000 guineas winners come back in just fine fettle this preparation. A big winner first up, wins second up over 1,400 metres. That was a huge performance. Chris Waller and Craig Newitt combined, and a really close go for the minor money. It'll take a while to sort that through. It was a 4-way go, but Amicus storming down the outside just when Veselay looked like it was a chance to win. Down the outside came a Group 1 winner as a 3-year-old filly. The knockback, a significant offer for her as a broodmare in recent times. Steady to get another win out of this girl. Chris Waller just so ecstatic to get another win out of this girl. And in the ownership, Rick Smith as well, who contributes.
Group 2 race, but I think it was a Group 1 field. There was 4 Group 1 winners in it, and one of them was able to win the race, and that was Amicus. Started at $15, drifted out from 13, was second up from a spell, was terrific winning first up. The owners knocked back a big offer in recent times to keep racing this mare. Precious Gem and May's Dream, both eye catchers. It was a 4-5-way go. It was a thrilling finish. Let's have a look at the Let's Elope.
And Amicus right over on the outside picked them up, and one from either Miss Rose Delago, May's Dream, Cosmic.
5-way go, and Amicus sprouts wings in the last 200 metres, runs 11.45, the same time as Precious Gem, who was terrific. May's Dream was an eye catcher. Miss Rose Delago, after that little freshen up, was solid, a pass mark. Even Veselay, who runs 6th, was on speed, still sprinted home in 33.98, did a good job there. Still over races a touch, doesn't she? And that was at 1,400 metres. And there was a host of stories out of the race, Matt, but I suppose the short price favourite, Noble Protector, who he thinks a chance towards a Cox Plate, she might have been the story out of it who failed.
Yeah, look, she was probably disappointing, but I've got this theory about Flemington, the new Flemington in particular with the camber. I reckon if you miss the wave, if you draw in around the bends at Flemington, you can get cluttered up and the wave comes out wide and you miss it and you just put the cue in the rack. And I reckon that was half the case with Noble Protector, half probably disappointing. Bustled out of the gate. She'd never think drawing barrier 1 always looked a problem, and I still think it was a factor in her defeat.
Yeah, look, I think just summing it all up without putting words into anyone's mouth, she just might have needed the day out there from the inside barrier, Matt. I'm going to forgive her for that. This is a beat these mares. Miss Rose Delago, you know she's got the scope. She's won up to the 1800s, so she's going to be boxing on. May's Dream's got that beautiful turn of foot. Precious Gem to the outside in the green green. Terrific run. Holds out Amicus, who follows Cosmic Endeavour and Precious Gem in, and she was just too tough. The Group 1000 Guineas winner. She looked a peach in the yard. You know that Chris Waller's always improve off a first up run, but she stamped herself as the 4-year-old mare that's gone to the next level, and she's the one to beat going forward. But Nimini Pim...
Hustled, he's in for a big run too.
Yeah, he was the hard luck story of the Memsy, wasn't he? Held up hopelessly there. Second up, of course. He ran well. Third up last time in a Group 1 Australian Cup, placing behind Spillway.
Dry track, wait for age, mile. He ticks all the boxes. He's won 5 Group 1s. His name is Boban, horse 3.
He was too good for them in the Memsy. Pretty stayer.
13s, and we've just turned Volkstock and Barrel out to 15s. Outside of that, there's not much happening. They really think that even though there's a lot of Group 1 winners in this race, 9 to be exact, they're concentrating on the couple at the top. Faulkner, the one they want to beat.
Thank you.
Paul Bashara there. Let's hear from Justine Hales representing Chris Waller. Justine, 2 runners here.
Mad speed outside of Entirely Platinum. The horses you're talking about are Faulkner, who can settle forward or back. Weary, who can do the same. And even High World, the 13. So if you're going outside of those, I don't think Mongolian Khan needs to be a mile off them either. And even Rising Romance has proven she can settle closer out to this sort of trip.
OK, so that's going to be like a fascinating... Makybe Diva. Here's our caller, Greg Miles.
And they're off. And Boban jumps evenly, and Rising Romance is the first one to bounce out. Away quickly Magic Cool, and Mongolian Khan's on the move swiftly, and Volkstock and Barrel comes over. High World went forward as well, and just off them in the early part is Faulkner. He's come across to be about 5th. But as they settle fully, Volkstock and Barrel has the lead slenderly from High World on the outside, and right behind them then Entirely Platinum on the improve around the outside in the orange colours. He's caught 3 wide on the speed. Closely followed in the field then by Mongolian Khan. 4th outside, Rising Romance, 2 to Faulkner. 3/4 away then Magical, 1 to Happy Trail, 7 off the leader, followed by Awesome Rock and Boban. A fair way back on the inside, 1 to Dandino. They're followed by Alpine Eagle, followed then by Gust of Wind, and Weary was last. High World at the 800 has the lead from Entirely Platinum. In behind them then Volkstock and Barrel 3rd, followed by Mongolian Khan. 1 to Rising Romance. Faulkner next on the outside as they swing towards the home turn from Happy Trails. Magical the rail. Back behind those horses then when they swing around the turn. Alpine Eagle coming the deepest runner. Awesome Rock just ahead of him. Into the straight they race. High World with Entirely Platinum. In behind those horses Mongolian Khan and the grey. Faulkner's coming with his run down the outside. Happy Trails and Awesome Rock will wider out. They come towards the 200 metre mark now, and the runs come. Faulkner out after Entirely Platinum, who'd gone to the lead. Rising Romance getting a run through. It's Entirely Platinum tackled by Faulkner, then Rising Romance and Happy Trails and Boban getting a late split. Faulkner hit the front from Rising Romance. Faulkner in front near the line. Faulkner gets in just from Rising Romance. Photo 3rd, either Entirely Platinum or Boban. From Happy Trails, Alpine Eagle. Weary out wide, made some late ground. A real blanket go to this one. Just behind those horses then was Mongolian Khan over the line, ahead of Gust of Wind, Volkstock and Barrel, Magic Cool, Dandino, and that's about the last one. Awesome Rock, one of the last to go in.
What a marvel he is. Faulkner wins another Group 1. Start 27, win 11. Takes his earnings up towards $4 million and given a 10 out of 10 ride by Damien Oliver. Brilliant ride, and Faulkner did the rest. He loves it at Flemington. He was narrowly defeated in this race last year, en route towards being narrowly defeated in a Cox Plate. Can he go one better? Rising Romance, well, she is ticking over beautifully at the moment in the runner-up position. We've got a photo for 3rd there. Boban was prominent, but all honours to Damien Oliver, who has just won his 106th Group 1, and he joins Sam Hyland.
D. Oliver, absolute gun ride, outside gate, 3 back, 1 off. Faulkner, come home.
Good on you, Sammy. Yeah, he's a ripper, this horse. What a warrior. He's an 8-year-old, but geez, he's had the best life at the Williams stable there. They've looked after him really well, and they keep repaying him.
And that's exactly it. He's been placed to...
Sammy, and I was biding my time, and I had a look over my shoulder, and I seen the pack coming, so I thought, we spent enough on the run, we've got to get out now, and probably arrived a little earlier than I wanted to, but we enjoyed such a sweet run that he was going to always have a good kick.
You had just one sit on this horse at Caulfield a couple of weeks ago, gave him a spin, he felt terrific underneath you, and then he's given you the gun ride here.
He sure has, and I've got to thank Nick Williams. He's been really boisterous about me riding this horse this time, so thanks, Nick, and I was glad I could repay it for you.
Congratulations, Ollie.
Thanks, mate.
Nick Williams, I've got to say the closing fractions here of Faulkner's performance are quite outstanding. Last 600 in 32.29, 421.98, 211.25. The old boy's firing.
Yeah, I think he's going quite well, that horse. He might have a future, the horse. It's so exciting to see him win this race. And I think, as we were talking about on the radio yesterday, Shane, we were talking about how well this horse goes at Flemington. And we both sort of said, well, it's ironic that his 2 Group 1s have come at Caulfield and he's second in the Cox Plate. And for him to win a Group 1 here at the home of racing is just absolutely terrific. And I tell you, the young bloke that rode him today, I think it's as good a ride as I've ever seen. What he did in the first 150 metres of that race just showed why he has been the dominant jockey in this country for the last couple of decades. And it's ironic when I think that Damien, as an apprentice, rode Mahogany in his first start at a racecourse in 1992, and it's taken from till 2015 for him to ride a Group 1 winner for us. Hasn't ridden many horses for us. Probably got a better strike rate than anyone, but it's fantastic to win a Group 1 with one of the greats of the turf.
Your father Lloyd and yourself have searched all far and wide to find the ideal racehorse to win Australia's greatest races. Europe's been a happy hunting ground, but here a homebred, an Aussie bred, has come out on top in another Group 1.
Yeah, well, he's something dreams are made of.
Similar program to last year, Caulfield Stakes, then the Cox Plate.
Exactly the same, yeah.
And Oliver is weighing out, of course. He's produced
very tough run in the Melbourne Cup last year, and for that reason, as a rising 8-year-old, we chose to bypass his usual cameo in the William Reid in the autumn, and we just gave him a preparation and then tipped him out and gave him a bit more of a break. So, look, they've done a great job at the farm. We're very fortunate up there with Rob.
Running second, Entirely Platinum. Third, So Honest. Again, another Group 1 placing for Entirely Platinum for Team Hawkes. But the winner, Faulkner, $5, was $7 in early market, $7 or $8. It was supported on the day. It ended up starting at $4. And there are the sectional times. He sprints home in 33.29. Boban, as is his lot in life, sprints home the fastest in 33.13. Also Alpine Eagle, back wide, terrific. Even Weary as well. Fast sectional, last 600 metres there. The Asterix, the fastest time in the last 200 metres, and you'll see Rising Romance really caught the eye, and so did another Oaks winner in Gust of Wind. We'll dissect the race in great detail with Simon Marshall as we have a look at the Stewards replay. But Matt, the story out of the race is this grey that I think cost officially $70,000.
From a little place called Mill Park in South Australia, which also bred Happy Trails. And the thought that I kept going through my head, and I wrote something about it in the paper today afterwards, was the fascination we have for Nick's dad's enterprise and his desperation and his obsession with winning the Melbourne Cup and his addiction to the overseas imports as well. There's a large influx every year or so, but and it's yielded Green Moon, and so the balance sheet has never been good, and Lloyd's always accepted that because it's a passion and an indulgence, and we accept that. But
16-time Group 1 winning jockey. Let's go through the key parts of the race. Where did Damien Oliver win this race?
Well, it's a good gallop. You knew he drew an outside gate, but he knew the speed with High World coming across with Vox Stock and Barrel. Entirely Platinum just stepped away a little slow. Dwayne Dunn didn't panic. He wanted to wait for the tempo to back off. You see him roll forward in the all orange to eventually sit outside of High World. Oliver's one out, one back, 3 pairs back, if you like. And what I like about the tempo as it backs off when Entirely Platinum rolls forward, Faulkner and Damien Oliver have just got nice space between themselves. You see he's got galloping room in front of him. I like the ride on Mongolian Khan. He was nice and forward. He looked fit to me. You heard Murray Baker say he's a fit horse, but the mile's probably not. Just chewing the bit little with Dwayne Dunn. High World's controlling the race beautifully. Vox Stock and Barrel's nice and relaxed. Now, Happy Trails here says, OK, I don't want to be flushed out. I've got Alpine Eagle outside me and Awesome Rock. They're going to creep up. Flemington, you can cover ground from the 700 and be there. Oliver's saying to himself right now, I don't want to commit too early. I'm going to wait for these horses to roll right up outside my shoulder. This is where a high-class, over 100-time Group 1 winning jockey, 106 as a matter of fact, is at his brilliant best. He waits for him to get to him. He knows he's got Entirely Platinum covered. This is Faulkner first up. He has to save as much petrol as he can because he knows he's got a fighting tiger underneath underneath him. He has to throw the kitchen sink at him because these weight for age stars are coming at him. He knows Bobin's got to get out and try and get a little bit of luck. Rising Romance was fantastic, poking through the inside. Look, there was a number of great runs in the race, but it was controlled by the best of the best.
Yeah, there was some sensational runs. We'll chat to Brad Bishop shortly in regards to war runs.
Yeah, well, that was the Memsey.
Memsey was the one.
Before the Memsey,
right,
yeah.
Okay, so...
And, you know, as you saw there, he's not even nominated for the Melbourne Cup, so you can stop spreading that rumour, Richard.
So that ticket that I had for 2 years ago in the Melbourne Cup, I can finally rip that up.
Look, there was a number of great runs in the race, but it was controlled by the best of the best.
Yeah, there was some sensational runs. We'll chat to Brad Bishop shortly in regards to war runs.
Yeah, well, that was the Memsey.
Memsey was the one.
Before the Memsey,
right,
yeah.
Okay, so...
And, you know, as you saw there, he's not even nominated for the Melbourne Cup, so you can stop spreading that rumour, Richard.
So that ticket that I had for 2 years ago in the Melbourne Cup, I can finally rip that up.